Hey, Jay here. We're back here with this Yamaha YZ250 build. It's a 2001 steel frame bike. Frame came out amazing. As you saw in our last part, we have our suspension, swing arm. We have everything ready to go. We're going to start assembling this thing right now.
Okay, so we work on the bench for a while to get everything kind of situated first. When we get the frame back from powder coat, we work really fast, as you can see. But I had a good mechanic, Cade, helping us, good guy that day. It's nice to have somebody that's helping you that's proficient, because we were trying to do a lot of this in one day, which we got a lot done. We were doing other stuff that day as well. A lot of times things don't fit as well, you know, on these older builds, and there can be issues. So we like to make sure everything fits and is lined up well. And so our first day, we kind of made sure that all this fit before the engine was in.
Okay, we got a lot done, but not a whole lot done. That's how it kind of goes. We were also working on a lot of other stuff today, so we didn't get too far, but we got far enough to write down a few more things we're missing. We got our suspension on. One thing we determined is that we don't like the color of the shock spring, so we're going to get that powder coated white. So since we have a little time, I'm going to pull it off right now, and we'll get that painted. Everything came on together really well. We're getting just kind of started. And you go, hey, why is the subframe on? You have to take it off when you get the engine in there. I like to get everything kind of held up here, anything, because as you put something up, you realize, oh, we got the right bolts and all that. So I like to get it out there and make sure we have all the right bolts. So we'll be back here in a little bit with another installment of building your YZ250. So check you out. Okay, so we're back here on this YZ250 build. We have our engine ready to go. We're going to do a few things today. We've kind of way behind schedule. So we're going to put this engine in, give a little bit more tips on how to do one of these projects. Okay, I've got a crate down here in the front. It works nice. I don't like to get the wheels on too soon because they're in the way. I'm also going to remove the subframe now. We fitted a lot of things we fit up to make sure that they're going to fit and there's no issues. We're going to remove that as we put the engine in. So sometimes we do take a step backwards as to go forward. That helps us know that everything's going to work.
Okay, so like I said, I like to fit up as much as I can, even say maybe before the engine's around, to make sure that everything is there and not, you know, missing and all that. So, and anybody that asks about my tennis elbow, this wasn't tennis elbow in this case. I've had tennis elbow before. This was actually because I crashed at Glen Helen at the vet race, just more practicing than anything. So, elbow is fine for those that are concerned.
Okay, so on the bolts, I like to put grease on this part right here. Not so much the threads. You really don't need too much in the threads, a tiny bit. No Loctite, typically. We don't run Loctite on these types of things because we get them good and tight. But I like to have grease on here because they're going to get corroded. So just a good layer like that, and you'll be in good shape. So get that done before you put those in. Also, it's really important, the microfiche. Don, you have that microfiche pulled up on your phone, right?
Yes, I do.
Pull that up. Let's show that. So it's important. What we do is we pull open the microfiche. And then I did take good photos of all this that I'm going to reference. And show that footage up here, Donnie. So you pull up OEM Parts Finder, look at your year. Everybody should know how to do this by now. Before only parts guys could do it. All right, so step back. So I want to know which way the bolts go through the frame. Obviously, some guys don't care which way their bolts go through, but I want it to be like the factory intended it. And a lot of that stuff is thought out. They do engineer it to go certain directions. So in this case, they all go through this way. And we looked it up on the fish because we didn't remember. So that's something you want to check out. Okay, so we got our two lower bolts in there. Now, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the bolts on, but I'm going to leave them all loose. I'm going to get everything started. And then once I get everything in and started, then Donnie and I will come and tighten everything up together.
Okay, so when you're doing this kind of stuff, it is nice to have someone to help you. And not critical, you can do it by yourself. It's nice to have somebody around that you can help you when you're feeding bolts through. Again, you know, the big thing is we're taking our time on this as best we can. We try to knock out a bunch at one time.
Okay, most older bikes all need a new kill switch. Firepower has a really cool one that's kind of universal. Really Sano deal, and it's pretty inexpensive and works really well. Brad at Parapro has told me he's used a ton of these and last a long time. Okay, now we're at the point where I want to put this and the shock on, the subframe and shock. I'd like to put the boot on first, so we're going to try that. I get this on, tighten this clamp down real good, and then I can work the shock in. Is kind of the easiest way I found, rather than getting the shock on first and trying to work this on. So either way, whatever works for you.
Okay, so a little smoky in here, like napalm in the morning. So it's because we just started it. We did it for Instagram video. Donnie was filming it. I just filled up some gas, mixed up some R50 here, our clots. We mixed up some of that with just a little bit of gas. We got some C12 be running in this thing. And it runs well on some 91 pump. I would still mix a little bit of aviation fuel or C12 on with any of the modern gas nowadays. So it started right up. It took us like 6 kicks because I wasn't that committed. So I'll give you a little taste here. So gas back on, choke on. Let's start that sucker up. We got stuff fluttering all over the place. These caps aren't on. The screws aren't on here. So we haven't bled our brakes yet, but we got to where we could start the bike today, which is a lot further than I think we thought we'd get, right, Donnie?
Totally.
Yeah. So because we had a bunch of other stuff we were shooting today, and we got to it. It's really cool. So engine's in. Now it's just going to be, we wrote down a few more little pieces we're missing. So now we're going to be tracking those down. We'll be throwing the wheels on this thing in the next step and go jet it, break it in, jet it, make sure it's good. And then those wheels, we're going to redo them. So we have the stock wheels with the junky tires. We'll go jet it and play with it with that. But we're pretty far along here. So it's moving well. Hopefully you enjoy. And I think is that about a good ending for this section?
Yeah.
Because I think the next section will be riding it. So I think let's do that. So this could be a wrap on this part of the build. We're pretty far along. We got our side number plates there. But the next part will be breaking it in, riding it, and giving you our first impressions. Thanks for watching the video so far. Don't forget, if you're going to shop for new parts for your dirt bike at RockyMountainATVMC.com, to click on the link in our description below. Okay, just filled some gas into our YZ250 project bike. We're back on this thing. We got some gas mixed up with some R50. We have a little bit of C12 and some R50, clots, R50 mixed up here. We're waiting on a bar pad here for this. Everything else we've dialed in. Since our last video, we've bled the brakes, we rebuilt the brakes. For those that haven't seen that video is up if you want to see how to rebuild brakes. All new parts with Galfer and all balls to rebuild them completely after they were vapor honed by Sano Metal Finishing. So brakes are ready to go. We have chain and sprocket, everything's on now. Last time we addressed this thing, we didn't have everything on. So we have our Super Sprox chain and sprocket, brakes are bled, wheels are on, and these are just our stock wheels. We are gonna, once we break it in, jet it, then we're gonna put on some nice wheels, brand new Dunlop tires, MX-33s, and we'll be ready to graphic this thing up and do our photo shoot. Our seat cover's not fitting very nicely on here, so we're gonna have to stretch that. That happens on these older bikes. The foam gets a little misshaped, so we might need to address that. So we'll do that on our next visit with Moto Seat. We might get a new foam. I'm going to talk to him and see. But the foam on these bikes can get a little bit wobbly shaped. So when they put the seat cover on at the place and you come put it on the bike, it can be a little bit mushed because the foam isn't sitting right. 20-year-old foam, that can be a little bit of a problem. What else do you see, Donnie? This thing's about ready to go, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
So we're going to go start this thing up outside, break it in a little bit, and then we can start checking the jetting to make sure this thing runs well. So we'll have a little GoPro footage for you on our first maiden voyage. Okay, here we go. Okay, so luckily I got a little area we can get away with jetting these things in and running up and down. The advantages of living out in the hood. So, of course, safety is number one. I like to just really go through these things and make sure that everything is, nothing's going to fall off and all that. We'd like to just give it a good run through. And
All right, feels pretty good.
It's nice to be able to go check this real close to my house, so I can just run up and down and make sure everything's good. Pop a wheelie or two. I'm no wheelie king at all, so little tiny wheelies are all we got. And this thing's a blast to ride, you know, even compared to the 22 bike. It's really fun. Reminds you of, you know, those days when we rode 252 strokes is what it reminds me of. I still don't know if I'm going to rush out and, you know, want to ride one more than I would want to ride a current bike, but still pretty dang fun. Okay, so that's pretty dang good, man. What? It, yeah, rips. I think I'm gonna adjust the air screw a little bit right here, see if I have to mess with the pilot at all, but just a little bit here. I'm holding it just barely on. It's not revving up like I'd like, but it feels pretty dang good. As you can see on the GoPro there, thing rips, man. Really fun bike. I think on the gearing, we might have to go one smaller, if anything, on the rear, because you get through the gears really quick, and of course that's on asphalt, but on the track, I think we might want to try that. So that's something we'll mess with here shortly. I think we have stock gearing, which 1450 is what I have on here. I think that's what I looked up. So we'll confirm that. That's what's on here right now. But really fun. Feels good. We'll have Donnie go try it and see what he thinks. All right, so we're back here. After we rode it, we did change the jetting. We went up one clip from the PC jetting to the third clip, and it ran a lot better. So since then, now there's been a few days, or maybe even a little longer, and we went ahead and got our wheels redone. And so that's the big step that was next. And so we got the wheels redone. Calling It Faster USA helped us with that. Sano Metal Finishing did the Cerakoting of the hubs. And we have a separate video that shows you the entire wheel process where we tore down the stock hubs and got those done, and then Colin helped us give some tips on rebuilding those. We also addressed our seat cover issue, got this thing all fixed up, and as you can see, we changed the colors a bit. It's going to match the graphics a little bit better that we got made, and the seat fits a lot nicer, and it's ready to go. So incredible looking build. It came out amazing. It's taken a while, but we've taken our time, and that's the way it works best. And so what do you think, Donnie? Was it worth it?
Oh yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, of course he thinks it's worth it. It's a sentimental project. Again, this is for his buddy it was his dad's bike, and his bike's 21 years old now. And it's been a fun build. A lot of these builds, if you go to this extent, maybe don't make the most financial sense, but they're really fun. And would you be better off buying a 22 YZ250? Probably.
After my KX build, I think this is easier.
Yeah, so this is definitely easy. The KX build required a lot of customizing and things we did to make it more modern. This bike, we didn't do any special triple clamps and special, welding of the frame and foot pegs. We skipped all that stuff, and so that was nice with this kind of build. Really fun bike, and it's just an amazing, project. Everything came out really well, so you'll be looking for this. We're going to be shooting this with Racer X magazine real soon, so you'll be able to see it in there, and videos more coming on our channel and also on Racer X. So hopefully you enjoy. We'll see you at the track or trail soon.
OnX Off-Road. Nowhere to go with the #1 GPS app. Access 500,000 miles of trails and roads, open dates and public lands. The elite version even shows landowners and property boundaries. Download the OnX Off-Road app. To save 20%, use the discount code DBTV1.